And we're live. Well, actually, yep. Hey, we're both here now.
Hey, all.
And some background music. It'll start when I choose it to.
Wow. That is a big hug.
I think I need some titanium white. I have to start rolling it up now. So, my colors today, which are a little bit different. Well, this is different. This is Puro red instead of cadmium red. Cadmium red has a more an orangish tone to it, and the Puro red has a darker tone to it, which you'll see. Now, let's see, quinacridone magenta, an ultramarine blue with which I make my purple. Burnt umber, which is what I've been layering her in. Bone black, that's another kind of change because when I want to go here, I don't want to try to mix the blue and brown to get the gray that I've gotten before. Now that I've got a base coat, I can pretty much be a little bit more specific on what I want to do with that. And my green gold, which I've been layering over him. I'm going to do a little bit more texture on him, I think, as we go. I can darken that up with blue because blue is the component of green, so. And I've got the white to lighten everything up. Got a bigger plate this time because Eli chose a deep dish plate. I don't think it's necessarily a bad decision.
No, not really.
It's big enough to have a little bit more room to mix paint on.
And it helps keep it in the plate.
Not a sponsor.
That's why I switched to a mug. And when anybody
I don't care if you see what I'm drinking. I just want to specify I'm a sponsor.
Okay.
I had an Amazon. What's that?
I don't really care either. I just don't want anybody to think I'm plugging for Twisted Tea. That's all.
Yeah. That's why you go, not a sponsor. Not a sponsor. Everybody gets it from that. Oh, let's see if I can do this without leaving a streak. I left a streak last time. I think it'll work out. If not, I'll just cover it when I do the highlights. But so I'm just adding a little bit of water because I want to thin this brown. So I want to do a glaze. And it should just incrementally darken stuff. But that's kind of the point. I really like this method. It's slow, but it's my nature is kind of slow and meticulous, I guess. Even though I'm impatient, so how does that work, right?
Yeah.
I'm impatient because it just doesn't dry quick enough for my tastes. So glazes are always darker. You do a dark color and you do a gray glaze. It kind of puts like a tint. Now, as you can see, as that tint builds up, it starts to look like it's more than just a tint.
Yeah.
Do you remember what you were going to say on stream that I asked you if you were going to remember, and you were like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Maybe a little later.
Imperial red. It's what I used for the base for the wings of Cthulhu. It's very much more. It's a little bit more transparent, but it's very much brighter.
Yeah.
I wanted to do that to get a little bit of separation where the head's chopped up. It's not really a polite way of putting that.
Well, maybe not. Maybe not, but it is the truth.
Yeah, you can say, decapitated, head chopped off, whatever. It's all the same thing.
Yeah. Something is missing a head.
It's dead.
Uh-huh.
It is dead. Tempted to take some Imperial red through here, but I don't want to confuse this. I want to separate it a little bit.
Mm.
That's why I've been brushing some browns into. I've been brushing some browns. No inspiration to do some painting?
No, not as of late, no. I do have a few projects that I'd started that I kind of feel like I should get back to.
This is a great time to get back to it because it's all art, dude. You won't be working alone. You're working when you're hanging out with somebody. I always like much more painting when I'm hanging out with somebody. Doing art gets better when you're in the company of other people doing art.
True.
I saw, like, I don't know, maybe if you're even interested in this kind of stuff, but Bret and I have had discussions about AI
Okay.
and whether it's stealing or not, or whatever. So something along those lines. That's what our discussions mostly have been.
Yeah.
So I read an article today, or part of an article today, where George Martin is suing ChatGPT, or whatever the hell it is, which is the AI writing program,
Okay.
because some fan used it to finish A Song of Ice and Fire. Used it to write the last two books.
Huh. Well. That's
Well, here's where I stand on that. I mean, first of all, it's basically fan fiction, so what are you getting bothered over? But second of all,
true.
that
Good
dude
point.
has had 10 years to finish that shit and still ain't finished.
Yeah. that was the first thing that popped into my head. It was like, well, George, you're not writing
He
it.
supposedly gave the end to HBO in case he didn't get it finished by the time the series caught up with him, right? And then what happened is the series caught up with him. They filmed the end, but they kind of rushed it because they put what he's going to put into 2 books into 1 season. And the audience hated it. So the audience hated the way it ended. Honestly, probably it was a lot to do with the fact that they did kind of rush it, so they didn't give the audience time to accept what was going on. But
Yeah, usually, and that just goes to show the old adage, when you hurry, it's not very good.
then when he was complaining, or when he found out that they didn't like the end, he was like, "Oh, I'm that's not the end that I intend to write. I'm gonna write a different ending," right? Still hasn't even written the second to the last book yet. So some fan
Took it upon himself to.
took an AI and pleased himself with it, basically. But hey, like I said, it's really fan fiction. That's really fan fiction. That's what it is. It's a fan that's doing fiction of your, IP.
Yeah.
But they're not selling it. I mean, if he sold it, that'd be a different story. But you can't copyright it. I think maybe George Martin's pissed off because the AI probably picked some of the stuff he had already intended to write. So now if he writes it,
it's going to look like he copied the AI.
Right.
Yeah.
But like I said, dude's had plenty of time to finish that story.
Yeah, he has. Yes, he has.
Instead of finishing it, he did the same thing Robert Jordan did. Instead of finishing his, he went and started prequel stuff.
Oh, boy.
And then House of Dragon, that's prequel to it.
Yeah, good point.
And then he switched over to doing wild cards, and the fans were getting mad about it, and he was all like, well, you don't control me. I don't have to do what you do, what you say. You're just fans. You're not my boss. Blah blah blah. Well, they kind of are because they are kind of the ones that pay you. So, but I'm not surprised at all. Someone got sick of waiting and was like, okay, I'll just do my own and
Yeah,
create anything
yeah,
I like.
yeah. I'm kind of not surprised either, to be honest.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm kind of amused. But
Yeah, I'll admit when you first said it, I got a little chuckle. Like, well, dude, you haven't finished writing it, so
well,
somebody's
I
got it.
also am amused because he's a cause of the day guy, and he was all about shunning people for their politics. Until he got shunned for his politics. Because even though he's got the same politics of the people that are shunning people for their politics, he mispronounced somebody's name that was of African descent or some shit like that.
Yeah. I think I remember something about it.
At an award ceremony. You know, like, really? That's what you're going to do? You're going to cancel him because he mispronounced the name? You better fucking say all your words right. You better not be mispronouncing any fucking words.
Oh, right. And heaven forbid if you actually wrote it to somebody and you misspelt it or something. And fucking, oh boy, you got it fucking right. You got your ass, motherfucker.
Yeah, he mispronounced someone's name and said black guy or something like that. Like, really? That's what you're gonna. That's the hill you're gonna die on.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you notice they've been really slowly but surely driving all the people that made science fiction and fantasy big out. Well, what happens when you do that is you don't have them anymore.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
You don't have the big names that were selling everything, so you're not going to sell as much. It's your choice, but
if you could sell that many, you'd already be doing it.
Right. Well, and what I'm saying is George Martin and a lot of other writers of that ilk helped a lot of these people get where they are in the first place, right?
Yeah.
But they've been canceling anyone that's white and straight and male for so long that they had eventually had to come down on Martin. The only person left, I think, that they've got that's straight and white is fucking John Scalzi. And that's going to be an ironic day when they try to cancel him. Because he was right in there with them, too. The sad thing is that none of that needed to happen, period. Nobody needs to be canceling anybody. Don't like what somebody's writing, I'll buy it. I'll read it.
Yeah.
Nobody is forcing anybody to buy and read. We had one viewer, it was short-lived. It's really weird. Sometimes we can see how many people that are watching, and sometimes we can't. If they're watching on their phone or, I don't know. I don't know why we can't sometimes, but last time I think we saw 1 or 2 people tops, and there was 8 or something like that.
Yeah.
So this is the quinacridone magenta and the ultramarine blue, which makes this particular color purple. And what I want to do is spent all this time going over the purple that I laid everything flat on so that I could go over the blue that I went over the purple with. But I'm trying to mirror what's up top a little bit. When I'm not actually trying to copy it. I'm just trying to mirror enough of it for you to see that it's indicated there.
Yeah.
Some white right there. I can save myself some trouble. So it just taps a little bit of water into this, which makes it more fluid, but it thins it out some too. So I want to indicate a little ripples in the water where the color changes. So this is why I asked you to remember what you were going to say, because it could be a conversation starter. I'd love for people to be watching and jump into the conversation.
I just, I don't know. I kind of thought about it, and I kind of feel like, what I was going to bring up. That might be something better for a private conversation, only because of the content of and it's a really touchy subject right at the moment. I'm not sure I want to go that route on at least on your live stream. You know what I mean? We were just talking about people getting canceled. I don't want to see your stream get canceled because of, somebody with dissenting opinions.
Well, unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever way you want to look at it, if this can be canceled because of people's differing opinions, it's gonna get canceled anyway.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to necessarily drive people away, but I do want to spur conversation. You know, I
Yeah.
do want to make people think about stuff that's going on, because some people just don't. They just take whatever is out there media-wise or whatever and take it for
Yeah.
granted.
Yeah.
That's fact,
Well,
you know.
I mean, it had to do with well, we were talking about the situation in Israel at the moment.
Right.
It was a thought. It was a thought on that, and you know,
Sure.
I know that's a little bit of a touchy subject.
No, not for me. Like,
Well, no,
I don't stand with
no.
Palestine, so you know.
Yeah, no, but since we are at a public forum, you know,
Yeah, but I'm not
Sometimes-
afraid to put out there what I actually believe. So, like, if you wanna expand on that or whatever, just stand by what you say. That's all I care about. Don't say anything you don't believe in because you think that's what someone else
well, fair
wants.
enough. Fair enough. Maybe I should
Yeah.
preface by saying it's just a theory, a thought that I had, and
Right, there you go.
a little. I am a little concerned. I'm kind of keeping a close eye on it, or as they'd say in the military, a weathered eye on it. And you know, I'm just a little concerned. I kind of starting to see a few patterns breaking out that I'm not. Leave me with a bad taste in my mouth. With the state of what's going on in Israel right now and Ukraine, and it seems like China is also ramping up a little bit. They're getting more ballsy than they usually are. Same thing with North Korea, getting a little bit more ballsy than he usually is. I don't know. I kind of feel like we're ramping up for something big. I kind of feel like maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow. You know, like the old movie trope goes, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but sooner or later. I got a feeling like let's put it this way. I've never felt in my life like we could be closer to World War III than now, if I'm being honest.
There you go. Why, as long as that's what you honestly feel, yeah. Feel free to say what you feel.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm just seeing a lot of things that I've never seen before, and they're really bad signs.
I do think that
a future yet to come.
I do think that the current administration is looking to do something major if there's more war and more troops deployed or whatever, then you open up that mail ballot voting again because everyone's off to war, right?
Yeah.
And, like, it's just a thought also. I'm not saying anything's definite or whatever, but wouldn't surprise me. Like, any of it.
To those watching, the guy speaking right now, me, I am. I know a lot about conspiracy theories and everything. So this is, I guess, some of this may just be, just bad gut feelings. It's we're talking in kind of entertainment terms right now. But no, I do seriously feel like with the current world events going on right now, this could definitely lead to something bad if somebody gets ballsy enough. This could be real bad for sure. And Israel's just the tip of the iceberg, really. Our administration.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with you. I feel like Biden's in the position where he feels like he needs to do something big to save his bid for re-election.
Right.
Now, I can't really say what that is. Now, could this be a catalyst for something like that to get people riled up and everything? Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
the pot's been being
I've seen
served for months
yeah,
now.
yeah, a lot of presidents have done less. So, and got the same result. So, I'm, yeah, I definitely don't discount that.
Yeah, and I'm not saying anything for sure either, but it seems like we're at a very divisive point right now, and it wasn't that long ago that political affiliation was all over the Middle East can't do anything wrong and whatever, you know. Islamics couldn't do anything wrong. So
yeah,
let me preface that by saying that I'm not saying the Islamics as Islamics are doing wrong, but it is a group of radical Islamics.
Yeah, and I was just going to say we should preface that this is radical Islam. This isn't necessarily Islam in general.
Yeah, I'm not claiming any claims about Islam in general. What I'm making my claim on is the fact that the Hamas are Islamic. That's it. That's the relationship. But
by the looks of it, Hezbollah is involved too, so they're Islamic too. So,
but what I'm really saying is that you don't want to wax too political, but that political branch, the Democrats, have been really at they can do no wrong. You know what I mean? It was like, oh no, it's not them, it's their religion, and they have some freedom of religion or whatever, but anyone else doesn't if they believe in God and not Allah or whatever, which is really supposed to be the same thing, but you recall it wasn't all that long ago that you couldn't say anything bad about a Muslim, whether it was true or not. There was no saying anything bad about a Muslim. And now, and this is what I was getting to, and now he's talking about going to war with the Muslims all of a sudden, right? He stood up and said that we're behind Israel. We stand with Israel, and we're going to support them. And this is his promise of support. Of course, you know, it's worth what it's worth, but that's a complete turnaround from what they've been preaching for the last.
Yeah, and let me add to what you just say. Not only did Biden, talk about United States full support, but Netanyahu today, as a matter of fact, had said that they pretty much that that Israel is at war with Hezbollah, and they will literally wipe Hezbollah off the face of the earth.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty much. He said all Hezbollah members will die. That he blatantly said that.
Yeah,
so
because
you just
he
said
was also saying that they're at war.
Need more help to do that. So if the U.S. is truly giving its full support, that's probably going to mean its military. You know, so
yeah, it's not going to be too far off before that happens. Definitely.
No, not far off at all.
And that's
I give it less than a year.
Kind of part of what I was getting at too, you know, is like they declared war, and I think they have every right to declare war.
Of course,
when their borders are broken and their children are slaughtered.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what else are you going to do? I'm going to declare war. Somebody comes in and murders one of my kids, and that's going to be a personal fucking jihad.
Absolutely.
And I'm putting it nice. There's, there's. I don't
I'm
give a
with
shit.
I'll say this much. Everybody talked about people can say what they want. Now I'll stand behind this statement. when Trump was in office, with all his tough talk against North Korea and China and the Middle East and everything, everybody here in the United States, or a lot of people in the United States, wanted to give him shit for it and everything, and say that this isn't how a world leader should act, and or say things like that. Well, look at what Benjamin Netanyahu just said today. Really, that's no different than basically what Trump had said about China and North Korea, these terrorist organizations. The way, okay, now we're coming after you. Now we're going to wipe you off the face of the planet. We're done. I admire Netanyahu for that. I really do.
I agree.
I admire him for that.
I don't. So I guess on the conspiracy side of things, I don't believe that this wasn't generated to start a war. I fully believe that there was other fingers in the pot stirring this shit, because even though Palestine and Israel have been pretty much in a kind of state of war forever, they didn't reach this level of atrocity at any point before. You know what I mean? So I kind of feel like somebody else put their fingers in the pot and stirred that shit up. Someone opportunistic. I'm not saying anybody in particular, but I think we all know who I have in mind. Or maybe not. Maybe we don't all know who I have in mind. But
I've got
it's not just.
When you mentioned it, I had probably 2 or 3 names pop into my head.
Well, I was gonna say, like, we're not the only country that needs to.
One of them is another world leader who's up to stuff right now at the moment. Mr. Putin.
I don't know how I feel about Putin either, by the way. I mean,
hey,
like,
look,
that sounds fucked up, but like, when I say I don't know how I feel about him, I'm talking about. I don't know how much of what we're getting is true, and how much of what we're getting is meant to
be propaganda.
Manipulate us.
Yeah, to
What's
be
that?
propaganda.
Well, yeah, just I want to say manipulate and leave it at that, because propaganda usually has a specific purpose in mind, and maybe it does. I mean, maybe there is a specific purpose in mind. That's maybe what we're talking about is basically the specific purpose. That is a very distinct possibility, but
Gulf of Tompkins, familiar?
I haven't been able to just feel like this is right with all the stuff that we're hearing. So let's just don't really know where I stand on that. That's why I said that in the first place, because there's so much involved in it, and there's so much we don't know. Whenever actors are involved, you know what I mean? Like literal actors.
Yeah.
How true can it possibly be? Like, even the leader of Ukraine.
Hold on a second.
He's an actor.
Yeah, hold on a second, bro. I know where you're going with this, and I was just having a thought too. You've known me for a long time. You know how I overthink shit, right? Well, here was a thought. Okay. Now, speaking on what we're being told, okay. Yeah, you could very well be right. I'm not going to discount that at all. No, I think.
Well, I'm not saying anything for sure. Just stuff.
No.
A little
Yeah, no, I'm just using your statement as a springboard for what I'm about to say.
No, I'm just saying, like, I just want to make it clear that I'm not saying anything in particular. I'm just saying things are questionable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there could be some fuckery going on there for sure.
I almost guarantee there's some sort of fuckery going on. What sort of fuckery? What particular means to what particular end? I can't say, but you definitely know there's more than meets the eye because they never show you all what's going on until it's too late.
Well, here's getting back to that. Especially what we're being shown. This is actually kind of what I'm getting to on the like possible theoretical idea of a conspiracy on this. Now, I don't know about you. I've always thought. Now, I understand why news channels would do something like this. When they're talking about Hezbollah coming over the border and everything, and literally they just started going house to house, killing everybody, right? And taking them hostage and everything, and they show you this this like home taken film footage that is all blurred. Now, I understand why they do that, of course. You know, there's a lot of
squeamish it's kind of like Bigfoot, right?
Yeah, but exactly. It's kind of like
Bigfoot.
Yeah, or a UFO. You notice there's never a clear picture of a fucking UFO.
Right.
Right. So, in that light, what's okay? So this is all blurry images. Okay, the conspiracy theorists could easily go, well, that's not real footage. That could be film footage from a horror movie, you know, an obscure horror movie or something like that, or an old broadcast or something like that. That's from this time frame. That was from like 2004.
Right, an unpublished remake of Red Dawn, or
yeah. So you see where I'm going with that.
Yep.
You know, now, you know, that also kind of leads to the whole idea of false flag type of stuff, which is definitely propaganda. That's for sure 100% propaganda. So if that were the case,
right,
you know,
that's terrorism. Terrorism is defined as violence and terror that leads to a political change or political.
Yeah.
With a political intent.
And most of the time it is carried out against the innocent rather than the establishment.
Well, either way, though, that the point with that is that terrorism has a political purpose. If you're using it for a political change,
to terrify the public into submission for a political interest.
If it has to do with politics, if it has to do with political change, that is literally the definition of terrorism.
Yeah. But the reason...
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to interject that, so...
Yeah, the reason that it's committed against the populace is because they know the populace is supposed to have control over the government. So therefore, if you attack the innocent and you get enough of them scared, they will bend to your will.
Well, that or cause a revolution if you're convincing them of something not true.
That's very true.
That's the
Arab Spring idea. Yeah. Or what Hitler tried to do. No, not Hitler. I think
running against
Wilhelm. Was it Wilhelm?
Kaiser Wilhelm.
No, yeah, Kaiser Wilhelm in the First World War that sent letters to Mexico, the Mexican government, to try to convince them to attack the United States while they were at war with them, and that they would properly divide up the territory. I can't remember if that was Hitler that did that or if it was Wilhelm.
That might have been
But
like in Mein Kampf, because that was Mein Kampf was his plan, right?
Was it?
Yeah, that's what
might-
it means. Right? Mein Kampf is my plan or my.
Yeah, my struggle. Or at least I think that's what it means, my struggle. I could be wrong. Matter of fact, you know what?
You and I are thinking the same thing. My struggle.
Yeah, my struggle. Yeah.
Let's see. My struggle in the UK and my battle in America.
Yeah. Well,
So-
that answers that question.
It basically comes down to the same thing, though. Is what I'm saying. Like that could very well have been.
Yeah, it could have been either, to be honest with you.
It could have been Mein Kampf that you were talking about, as far as
That's
trying
right.
to make the deal
Because
in America,
at least-
because neither one of those German commanders, leaders, whatever you want to call them,
yeah,
they were both dictators. One was a dictator, the other one was a. Was he
socialist.
like a? What's that?
Wasn't he a socialist or a fascist?
Well, yeah, but I'm trying to think.
I
I'm
don't know.
talking about the
Mussolini was-
Kaiser. The Kaiser was like a royalty, right?
Oh yeah, no, he was.
That's
I
what
think
I'm
he was
saying. Like,
imperialist. I think he
Yeah.
was imperialist.
but Kaiser is a foreign title, right? Like an inherited
Oh, yeah.
title.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
generally, yes.
saying. Like I could
Yeah.
still be wrong on that too, but that's what my
why-
understanding was. Is the difference
why-
is that Hitler
Yeah, that's
was
why. That's why Hitler was never called Kaiser. He was called Führer.
right.
So, two totally different things. Yeah, the last Kaiser actually was Wilhelm. Actually,
Right.
after that it was Hitler. Then they became democratic. Matter of fact, I don't even know who the Prime Minister of Germany is right now. But yeah, so yeah, needless to say, I'm a little little leery as to how this could be playing out. My theory is that speaking of I guess you could say, if anything, a sort of quasi puppet master, we could be looking at we could probably be looking at a couple of different people. My first thought was Mr. Putin pulling the strings in the Middle East, like Russia's done for decades. Going, hey,
I pulled the strings as much as kind of fan the fires.
Yeah, but basically, yeah. What do you think the possibility would be? Putin talking with these terrorist leaders and saying, hey, you know what I got going over here in Ukraine. The Americans and the English and so on and so forth are sending a lot of supplies over there and so on and so forth. Why don't you, that whole little feud that you got going on with Israel? Yeah, well, the Americans are really like to lick the Israeli boot, so to speak, and maybe you cause a distraction for the Americans for me.
Yeah, but if you actually look at it, so I don't think Putin That's why I was saying it's so questionable about him, because I don't think he really intended to do the major war. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, I
when you
would agree with that. I thought he yet again thought that the Ukrainians were going to roll over easy, and he found out that was not the case.
well, Ukraine used to be USSR, and
It did.
the reason that they're even interested in Ukraine is because the Ukraine is the wealthiest part of the USSR. So
Yeah,
there's
ports of the Black
justifiable
Sea.
reason, and
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's right, but I can see why they would want to, you know.
Yeah, I can see both sides of that.
It's to me, it's less likely that Putin was like, "Hey, I want you to distract the Americans," because Putin's not their religion, and they would. Why would they work with somebody that didn't have a chance to learn into that anyway? However, hold on. However, who's been paying them? Who's been shoveling money into them?
Yeah.
It's not Russia. We can trace where that billions of dollars have been going into Palestine from.
That's true.
It started with a big zero, big O.
Yeah. Yeah.
It skipped about 4 years, and then it picked right back up again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was one of the first things he did when he got into office. Our current administrator.
Yep.
That's what I'm going to call. That's what I'm going to call him. He's the head administrator.
Yeah, he's kind of a sock puppet.
But
I say marionette, but like he's more like Kermit the Frog than a marionette. I'm sure someone cut their hands way up his ass.
yeah, probably. Yeah.
They're not pulling strings and throwing their voice. They've got their hand up his ass, and every time that somebody asks him a question that he's not comfortable with, that hand kind of squeezes something up in there, and he's like, "Oh, it's above my pay grade." Above my pay grade.
Yeah, above your pay grade. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You are the.
You catch him saying that? It's above my pay grade.
Yeah. So then let me
You're
talk
saying
to the
that
person.
it's above your
Pay
pay
grade
grade.
it is that.
What's that?
It's like it's like speak to the manager. Like,
Right.
Well, I thought you were the manager. What the like be above your pay grade? What the fuck do you mean? I swear, sometimes the guy even kind of looks like a Muppet.
Right. Yeah. He actually he looks like Walter.
His eyes look more high than mine do.
He looks like Walter from Jeff Dunham. Oh yeah, no, there's pictures of them side by side, and I'm telling you, dude looks like Walter.
Yeah.
He's not the same as Walter.
No.
Looks like
my father-in-law acted just like Walter. Yeah, before he passed away. Yeah, he acted just like Walter. Oh my God, fucking crusty old bastard. Love you, Dave.
So, how are things going at the shop this week?
Yeah, something just happened last night. I'll talk to you in private about that one.
Wow.
That's not something I want to that I think I should be talking about on a live stream. Yeah, that this was, but it also was kind of eye opening too, and it kind of it turned out to be kind of a one of those things that go, wow, holy shit, change needs to be made here, and I mean,
Oh, I
kind of a
thought it was
change.
going to be one of those things that go, wow, holy shit, Rich was right again. Oh, I'm due to be right again pretty soon.
Well, I've heard you tell stories that were similar to this situation, so I could definitely relate with some of the stuff you had told me about your past experiences. So it definitely made me go, "Whoa, okay, now I've heard about this." And yeah, but it ended up being kind of an eye-opening experience anyway, because it kind of led us to a conclusion that we all kind of knew, but up until now didn't really feel motivated to do anything about. But yeah, after doing further research, yeah,
Now you
basically,
got my curiosity all up.
yeah, it basically the long and the short of it, basically, it's led us to conclude that apparently our shop in town was actually pretty cheap compared to other places around us.
So,
So,
do you see on the right hand side of your screen, it says comments?
yep.
You see way at the bottom, it says
Private
private chat.
Yeah, private chat. Yeah.
Anytime that you want to say something that you don't want to say out loud,
Yeah.
you can put it in there, and I'll see it. Nobody else will.
Gotcha.
The only people that can see the private chat are the people that are in the StreamYard.
Yeah. Oh. But yeah, well, put it this way: my normal day rate, which about 6 hours of tattooing, was 600. Well, now it's 800. I'll leave you to conclude why that would be.
Or you can put it in the private chat.
True. That's true.
The choice is up to you, my friend. And still, we can talk about stuff after too. So.
That's of course a bit of a condensed version of, but you get the idea.
Yep, that's. Huh. I've been saying something like that for a long time, right?
Yeah, and well, I think we all kind of knew it, but I guess we were just a bit complacent in doing anything about it. So now, do we feel that this person probably got overcharged a bit? Yeah, a little bit. But at the same hand, we're apparently way under where we probably should be. So, like I said, it was kind of an eye-opening thing. You know, going, well, you know,
Where's the owner stand on that?
he's in agreement pretty much with the rest of us that apparently we need to make a change. We need to be charging more than we are, because we're not even close to everywhere else. Now, of course, you know.
Yeah, and the customer complained because customers want to have the customers that you guys are getting, and I've said this for a long time, they want to get the cheapest deal. It's that whole thing with tattooing that drove me fucking away from it. That they don't want to pay for what they should be getting. They want it to be given to them, but they want your best work. They want it to be unquestionably the best thing that you can put out, but yet they don't want to pay for it. Yeah. That's invariably why I didn't, I stopped, because who the hell wants to go back to that and fight and argue, and people are trying to undercut you and you're trying to make a living. You've got to make so much to make a living.
Yeah. Well, the other side of that coin too was
that's way in the shop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, especially when you don't own the shop.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, even if you did own the shop, because if you're owning the shop, then you got to pay for all the supplies and the overhead.
That's true, but usually at least a smart businessman, like we've discussed before, has a bit of builds a bit of a safety net for the lean times. So
right, but you still have to pay
a lot of the other artists that work under that person's banner aren't usually in that predicament to be able to, have a little bit of a safety net. So a lot of these guys are doing it just to survive. Because
you remember what I told you when I said, if somebody wanted to pay me X percentage, then I would be there for good.
Yeah.
Do you remember that percentage?
I think it was like 80.
Well, 80 would definitely do it too, but it was actually 70.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I knew I had either 70 or 80.
Because if you own your own shop or you own your own whatever, 80's probably unrealistic. But it's kind of what I'm getting at is that if you make 70%, what you're doing is the shop is paying the overhead, and it's the same as you owning your own shop and paying the overhead. The overhead that you would be paying is probably going to be close to 30% at the very least. So, That's why I said that in particular, because it's going to be hard to get somebody to pay that percentage. But that's, as a shop owner, I know I've owned a couple of shops.
Yeah.
You're not making 100% of what you're making. Yeah, 100% of that goes into your pocket, but so is 100% of the bills. So 100% of the bills, 100% of the supplies, 100% of the responsibility too. Because
hence why most shops have at least 3, maybe 4 other guys working for them too.
Well, yeah, that's the goal, is to get some people working for you so that you can take time to run and do all the other crap that needs to be done too, like gain publicity, like do some advertising, do some wheeling and dealing or whatever, and then get supplies, make sure the supplies are there, make sure the bills are paid on time, because you can't be going off paying bills on time if you're booked every single day and there's nobody else to work.
Yeah.
Like, that's very hard. You have to actually close the shop, and I've done that before too.
Yeah.
You have to actually close the shop to take care of your stuff.
I'll be right back, Rich.
Sure.
There we go. And to go get another lovely beverage. Surprised nobody popped up in the comments yet.
Well, I don't see anybody watching. There was one person watching. I won't see the actual numbers until we're done. But yeah, I said we had one person watching early on, and then I'm sure there's a couple of people watching. The person that I'm doing this for usually watches if they know. Like it.
Thank you. Oh, jeez. Sorry about that. Had to walk off. I got that burning feeling in my nose. Like, okay, here it comes.
How's that axe looking? I can't. It's even smaller from the extra. It's probably enlarged myself. I have a habit of forgetting to enlarge so people can see what I'm doing. That's probably why no one's watching. They're like, I can't even see it.
Yeah, looking good so far. Taking shape well. Weird. Is that coming through on your end?
Probably not. I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Okay. I just had some weird sound distortion, and then you glitched out for a second. But you're fine now.
I know we like to try to rely on the audience to know that actually we have an audience.
There we go.
I love these little tiny brushes. This is actually a tapered flat.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's such a small brush. I have a one that's a round too. This one's a 0. This one's a half. That's the impatient part. It's like I trying to build something and
Yeah. Gotta wait
I have
for that
to wait.
layer to dry.
Yeah, I have to wait for it to dry. I could turn the fan on it, but I don't want to dry what's on the plate.
Yeah. That's the downside.
Right.
Realistically, you could put the take another plate and just flip it upside down, put it on top of that one. And that would kind of
not in paint though. Not in paint. Like I can if I was gonna sit there and wait for the paint to dry.
Yeah.
But generally, if I'm waiting for something to dry, I want to work on something else.
True.
So that
Fair enough.
I'm still getting. I'm still advancing the painting, even though I'm not necessarily.
And you're not wasting a shitload of paint.
Well, I mean, like, so if I'm not using them or whatever, I take this spritzer and
Yeah, give them the spritz.
They're all gonna stay malleable. The problem is that it also thins it down because you're spraying water on it.
Yeah.
So if you're not going to use it for a little while, spraying water on it's a great idea. If you're intending to use it fairly soon after, then maybe not yet.
I had to get up. I fell asleep gaming.
Apparently the game wasn't that interesting.
No, food coma.
Well, that'll do it too.
Hello, she's live on the air.
He knows.
Yeah.
Okay, just so long as you know that everyone's going to see that or hear that.
That's okay. I used to do TikTok live, so
As you can see, she was looking for the cat. Well, one of the cats.
my cat in particular.
I really can't see. I'm trying to focus on this. So.
Football. Ugh. Yeah. That's just smooches.
think Fat Boy is asleep on the stand out there.
Oh, he didn't. He was sleeping up by river.
Nope, not asleep on the stand. There he is. In the draw of the top.
Yeah, no, dude, I'm good, thank you.
Speaking of video game, we got the video game music happening again.
Oh, no, that's Jenny. No, I was just
No,
looking at something.
the soundtrack, the music.
Oh.
Music that we're listening to had that music or the video game sound again.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, Jenny's playing Diablo 3. Not really the greatest soundtrack. But no, I was just looking at my messages, and some scratcher dude messaged me, asked me if I wanted to buy his fucking equipment. You know, the fucking Amazon bullshit. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good, thank you.
If I wanted to buy it, I would have bought it on Amazon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, some things for tattooing I would buy on Amazon, but certainly not a tattoo machine or needles or tubes or no.
Well, they have like Cheyennes and stuff on them.
Questionable if it's
it's not a very much better deal, but it is the same authentic pieces because it's made by that company and sold by that company. But like I said, it's just not a better deal.
Yeah.
See the way I fixed the problem with the impatience on the axe?
Yep.
A hard lesson to learn. That's the thing that's the thing that's different about opens than regular golden liquid text or any of that, is that those paints, they dry a lot faster. You can't blend them; they're not malleable to be blended very well. So you give up the fast dry for the blend.
Yeah.
And there is a reason, but I don't want to give up the fast dry or the blend. That's the main thing. It's like I don't want to do that. I don't want to. don't wanna.
Now that's got to be the funniest piece of freaking gear that I've seen in a long time. A tactical toilet paper holder with Molly attachment, so you can attach it to your freaking battle belt or whatever. Oh boy!
You know, it'd be cool is if the toilet paper roll was also a reticle.
Yeah, it would be. Oh boy!
It gives you the
That's so
Kentucky windage.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I want to see the testing video on that one.
That's some funny shit.
Yep. Pun intended.
Right? 100%. Swiss Army shit paper.
Yeah. I used to think the idea of having baby wipes in your gear was kind of hilarious, but I thought about it and went, well,
There's a lot of purpose for baby wipes.
yeah. I'm like, well, it is a multi-purpose thing, so maybe that's not so weird. Yeah, no, literally, it was a toilet paper roll pouch that you could put on your like your battle belt or your backpack or whatever. I mean, that's supposed to be.
Toilet.
Yeah. It's made out of nylon. It's even got a freaking motivational patch holder on it. I don't know what you put on that, but whatever. I could see it being handy for camping, but I seriously doubt some special forces soldier is going to be having a roll of TP on this stuff. But maybe I'm wrong.
Nowadays,
So if anybody out there is a special forces soldier and you have a TP roll on your pack, let me know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm not buying it.
Yeah, me neither. I highly doubt it. Just goes to show some people make it. I'm sure people will buy it, right?
Right.
I'm sure so.
Somebody will.
Yeah, like I said, for camping, it might not be a bad idea. Or if you're like hiking or something, I don't know. Oh my goodness, they even got them in camouflage.
Well,
yeah.
You
don't want somebody to find your toilet paper.
that could raise several bad problems.
Yeah, what happens if it rains?
Well,
now you gotta.
One slip of the finger.
Yeah, exactly. At least baby wipes are tougher. A lot of phone cases.
What?
Oh, I'm just looking at different gear for the hell of it. A lot of phone cases. I shouldn't be surprised by that, but it seems suspiciously cheap. Maybe. There's a there's a patch I think most of us could use.
What's that?
Oh, I was just looking at different patches on Amazon. This one says my degree of sarcasm depends on your degree of stupidity. Got a little chuckle out of it. That's cool. I suppose I should be looking that up. Wow. You glitched out for a second and we're back. Okay. There you are. What's going on here? Whoa, we are glitching out hardcore. I don't know if you can.
Somebody viewing, so am I glitching or is Chad saying shit? Mention in the comments.
I can hear you now. Holy crap. I don't know if that just happened on my end or what, but
Yeah, hold on.
yeah, everything glitched out for like a good minute and a half. I don't know what just happened.
Yeah, it could very well be you though. It could be me too, but like it's not uncommon to have somebody else goes out. I actually we just upgraded our internet to a faster, stronger internet.
Yeah.
So Shouldn't be us. You know how that goes. Shouldn't is no guarantee for anything. Not dark enough.
Here we go again. Yeah. That one I'm pretty sure was on my end. Little glitchy.
What's that?
Oh, yeah, I just had another glitch out. Just you disappeared this time.
Just me?
Yeah, I think it's on my end. Not sure what the hell's going on, but well, here we go with the weird beeping again.
What?
Hey, here we go with the weird beeping again.
You check outside for UFOs.
No, but now you mention it.
Maybe you can get a blurry picture.
Yeah, like there isn't enough of those, right? Oh boy. Yeah, check outside, make sure I'm not gonna get swatted or some shit.
I think I gotta let that axe dry for a little while.
That's looking good though. Yeah.
It's a layered process, right?
Yeah. I had to keep tilting my head so I could look at it from a little bit more of the proper perspective. But
That better?
yeah, that's a bit better. I wasn't understanding the shadowing on the top of the axe, but when I tilted my head, I went, "Oh, okay, I get it."
Yeah, it's still the modeling. So basically, is because the light source on her, for the most part, I want either to be ambient light from the sky,
Yeah,
or reflected light from the axe.
yeah,
The blade's tilted,
yeah,
which is why the odd size is, because it's not straight. It's like this.
yeah.
So.
Cool. Coming along nicely though.
Yeah, it's definitely getting there, huh?
Yep.
The important thing is we have enough contrast to see what's going on.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough up in there because there's a lot of dark stuff up in there. But
Yeah.
I'm going to lighten just the edge of it after it dries. And I have a hard time not saying after it heals. It's not healing. It's not moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Years
Of course I
and
have it.
years and years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Darken her just a little bit more again. Because I've left her alone a while now. I really wanted darker here. And there's a good rule of thumb that as you go lower on a body, especially in like fantasy paintings and stuff like that, we get darker.
Yeah.
So it falls away more and more into shadow as it goes down. But I definitely want like the underside of her breasts, because even though it's like there's a top there,
Yeah.
you still want that light really powerfully up on top. Yeah, I very much like this brown for her. It's not skin tone, but it makes her a little bit more bronze, and it works for me pretty well. So winter was really pale, but winter is winter. You know, this is summer, so we want her to be very much maintained.
Yeah.
So it's like 17 coats to get it there, but there's such a degree of gradation. You couldn't do it any other way, really.
Yeah.
Like, I guess you could mix colors and hope that you get them right every single time, but this way it just seems much more natural. It almost feels like that power. Now the good Lord did it. I'm just copying him. Nature, if you will. It's like the natural way. Instead of trying to slap down some paint.
Yeah.
Now I've got to get a hold of my patron and ask them what color the hair should be. Like I kind of want to do darker hair because the other one I did was fair hair, but and kind of fits with what's going on here, but have to be a degree darker than her skin, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I guess another pass on the old serpent book. This is just hitting it with water. Because if you hit it, because it's a very thinner water-based color, if you actually work the water in, it will reactivate it a little bit. which is really cool on one end. Like if you really want to reactivate it, but it's not cool if you don't want to, obviously.
Yeah.
I just wanted the bass tone in there, so that's not necessarily. And I guess there's a few things I'm going to. So yeah, whatever's shining off the axe, it's going to be bounce light. And bounce light, it's going to come down on her face and chest and most of her arm.
Yeah.
This whole area here, and this area here.
Yeah.
But the rest is more ambient light, so that should be interesting. I think my patron tends to agree with you that this looks like it has more depth. I don't know. I like the other one. It was pretty well set too.
Yeah.
But this one's designed to make it feel like you're, coming into the picture from the bottom.
Yeah.
And that's probably why. It looks deeper.
Hey, Coach. Hey, Kitty. somebody.
Bless you.
That was a cough.
You say you got Destiny Head tonight.
boy, here we go again. The tones from freaking Close Encounters.
What's that?
Oh, the audio is going weird again on my end. It sounds like the tones from the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've never heard that. Like not the tone, but I've never heard that happen on one of these streams.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is.
First time for everything.
Yeah, I am using a Bluetooth speaker because the volume on my laptop isn't the greatest. So that might be why.
That might be a difference, though.
Yeah. But it is Bluetooth and it is subject to interference. So maybe I'm getting a little interference through the speaker.
Yeah, that's possible. Serpent looking a little bit more 3D. I know the axe is looking better because you can.
Oh yeah, you can definitely tell that she's wearing like a thong sandal on her foot, and the serpent's eye is got a lot more definition too.
Hopefully, all of this stuff has more. Because it's kind of difficult. I need to darken all this down, I guess. And,
now, just out of curiosity, on the serpent, do the teeth overhang the bottom over the bottom jaw, or did she cut his jaw off in the fight?
it's underwater.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, that explains. That explains it.
But hey, whatever you want to think. I guess.
Well, no, I thought maybe he just had really long teeth and they overhung his bottom jaw, like a saber-toothed cat's, whatever.
Yeah, it's in shadow.
Or even a shark, a shark with its jaws closed, the top teeth overhang the bottom jaw. At least a great white, anyway.
All this work for sometimes I think over. Really, mostly it's because I don't know how much of it that's gonna show through.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is I'm doing a glaze of the brown over the color so that it doesn't seem as bright.
Yeah.
It's really kind of hard to get that where the serpent is too. So
yeah,
I don't want it. The eye shouldn't be drawn to the water so much as her and the serpent.
Yeah.
So, pretty much the choice is a glaze of blue or a glaze of brown. And
Yeah.
I don't want to overdo the blue either. That tamed it down some, didn't it?
Yep. Yeah, it did.
So I'm going to gray it out. Like if you're going to have a little bit of that. If I wanted to gray it out, there's two ways to do it. You use the opposite color, which we're getting a little bit of that in the blue with the brown. But that's okay because it was so bright. It can use some diffusing.
Yeah.
Seeing the serpent should be the center of attention. So because green is complementary color to the reds and oranges and purples and stuff, that it's going to stand out a little bit.
Yeah.
That's why I'm putting the brown. Brown's a neutral. So when you put some neutral in there between colors that make each other pop.
Yeah.
And then it shouldn't feel like it's screaming, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you put opposite colors together, they do make each other pop. But if that's all you're doing, they're basically the loudest thing in the picture, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we want to get away from. We want the attention focus on this, and like I'm almost regretting putting so much detail in this, but I'm hoping that as I get crisper through here and the fine details, that will put that a little bit more in the background.
Yeah. That helped to blur it out a little.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, like if you have too much detail, then the eye doesn't know where to go.
Yeah.
And like all my lines, like lead to her, right?
Yeah.
These lines lead to her. This mountain leads to her. This leads to her. That leads to her. This leads to her. The clouds all lead to her, right?
Yeah.
And then bug seedlings. That's a little net. So all the lines leading to her, I want her to be the center of attention.
Yeah.
And she's it's a little bit hard to see her with all the other things taking a step in the foreground. So that's why I keep layering her, because certain things I want darker, and I'm going to start actually selectively layering her pretty soon, because the ribs are done well enough, the arms done well enough, the head's done well enough, so it's the legs and the stuff that I want to more fade into shadow. I would suggest at home that you check if it's dry this way. I'm doing it because I've been painting all around it, so I know I have a better chance. That's another good thing about like when you're using water to thin it. Water dries quicker.
Yeah.
Than the thinning agents and the slow dry and all that. See, like when I put this thin coat over it, watch how dark it gets. Watch how sharp it gets. Just that thin coat just makes it sharper.
Yeah.
Looks a lot lighter because of the light. So I'm going to turn off the light for a second. The extra light for a second. See how it looks on camera. Watch what happens when I make this turn.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot tamer, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it sure is.
This is a lot darker over here. She still doesn't look right. On camera, she's a bit more orangish red than she is in person.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I'm pretty close to, I guess, calling it for the night, too. We're reaching that 2.5 hour mark, and I've been trying to keep these streams down under 3 hours, but sometimes they go to 4. Since it's, you want to talk for a few minutes afterwards or whatever.
Yeah, yep.
We got about 3 minutes left. And there isn't a whole lot I can do right now.
Yeah.
The sword's looking good.
Yep.
It's standing out a little bit. Things I've got to decide yet is what I'm going to do for her clothes, because it's basically just a bikini with a long trail.
Well, I was going to ask, why was there significance of the woman being naked, or?
Yeah, she's not naked. No, you can see that by a little bit of her hanging here. You can see actually a line right through here where her bikini's cutting into her.
Oh, okay.
And there's no nipples.
Well, no. That
if she was naked, she'd have nipples.
Yeah, because now that you mention it, that spot kind of back behind her thigh, it reminds me of a loincloth type thing.
Yeah, it's basically a loincloth, but it's more diaphanous. It's a little bit more see-through. That's why I'm trying to figure out what color is going to work with it, because I don't want it to blend into the background, but again, you don't want it to weep right
Yes.
out at you. So
Yeah.
I might just do a thin coat of the same green I'm using here, but instead of building it up and adding the different tones, like I've got browns in here and then blues in here to make different tones of green in there.
Yeah.
So instead of doing that, I might just do that green gold right over here and right over here and just kind of keep it light. And then, because I'm going to have reflected light on it too. But I want it to not be, I don't want it to look heavy. So that's where I am. Actually, you know, I'm going to do that. I think because the green against the purple, that actually, I think that will work. And it's not going to be like a huge amount of green either. So. And as I've been saying all along, if you've been watching, if you're painting and you do something that you don't like, because it's paint, you can just paint over it. So, I'm do it a series of squeezes. Yeah, something like that I think is a good idea. Needs a little bit of color to let you know it's not skin. Yeah, that's pretty much clear, huh?
There you go.
I look over the screen and I really can't see it very well because it's small. I don't have it like full screen or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe I should full screen it for a second so I can see it on. Oh yeah, you can definitely see it on the top.
Yep.
You can see it where I just put it in the bottom. It's kind of hard to see in the crotch area, but it's supposed to be shadowed in that area, so we just want to hint at it there.
Yeah.
Enough to break up the brown. Yeah, it's not too bad. Kind of separates her out a little bit.
Yep.
I think maybe the yellow will help too. Okay, I think I'm going to do another pass on that also. But I'm not going to do as many passes because I don't want it to be the same color as him. Also, I'm going to do stuff on him with a smaller brush so that I get some pattern designs in there so it looks like some scale work.
Scales, yeah.
So what I'm doing is what it's called modeling. So your first thing you're doing is you're getting your blocking in. So you block in the colors and then you model to get the shape of what's going on.
Yeah.
And then you start detailing. And you do your finer stuff after.
Cool.
We got one more coat of And that's why I like a filbert so much, because it's a pretty versatile brush.
Yep. For the same reason that I like round mags.
Right. Well, round mags are basically filberts with needles.
Yep. Matter of fact, that's generally all I use for shaders now. Besides the occasional round shader here and there.
I don't use round shaders anymore. I used to.
Yeah, I like to do some, sometimes some whites, depending on what I'm doing. Works really good for whites. Or highlights, I should say.
Well, yeah, I do that with liners.
Yeah. Yeah, I use liners too for whites, especially if it's small work.
Right. All right, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna enlarge the screen so I get a good screen shot here. Hopefully. Give her a little bit more center stage.
Nice.
I gotta look at it enlarged. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can see the color in there now.
Yeah.
But it's a layering process, so I'm gonna go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm gonna end the stream. Thank you everybody that watched. If you like it and you appreciate the content, hit like, subscribe, help the channel grow. Feel free, anybody that's trying to plug some workbooks, paintings, drawings, whatever. Stop in the chat and say something. But yeah, so that's it. Good night. God bless. Much love.
Later, all.